saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in. I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to ttt.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The Southern California Thoroughbred Racing Circuit is back at Los Alamitos Racecourse with 9 great days of racing starting on Friday, June 20th. The opening weekend will feature the $100,000 Bertrando Stakes. Plus, the summer meet will include the running of the Los Alamitos Derby on Saturday, June 28th. We'll also have a holiday racing program on Friday, 4th of July. And our on-track handicapping contest will be on Saturday, June 28th. Daytime racing returns to Los Alamitos. Opening day is Friday, June 20th.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all players around the world, a good morning.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio station, our home base, Sports Talk 1400 AM on the radio, and of course on the YouTube streaming network at the YouTube as well. And we welcome you to the show. People ask me, said, why do you open the show every day the way you do, going over all these things? Because each and every day we get new listeners. We get new people that are watching and listening. And so we want to kind of introduce them to the show and welcome them personally to the show, as well as all of you that have been with us from day one. So that's why we go through it all. We go through it, we're here at the South Point Studios, at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex in Las Vegas, at the South Point Studios streaming network on YouTube. We're also on our anchor radio station here, Sports Talk 1400 AM and 107.1 FM in Las Vegas. So when you're here in town, if you're visiting us and you want to listen to us, you're running around town, you can do that as well. And of course, our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. Got them all. And of course, as far as your devices are concerned, your Android, your iPhone, your Google phones, that's being taken care of with the apps. You get the YouTube app that you can see and hear us, and the KSHP app that you can hear us through the radio station, and of course, anywhere you get podcasting as well. And who knows, however else you get us, just welcome to the show. We welcome you to the Race Day Show, covering the great sport of kings, Las Vegas style. And so that's why we do that every day. Want to also remind you that this is Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. Well, all I got to tell you is we're going to turn Friday the 13th into a lucky day for you. Hopefully, anyhow. Sure was yesterday with our handicappers. Our handicappers did great work yesterday on the show. At Aqueduct, if you remember, Jerry's on vacation, so I'm trying to interpret kind of what he has shown me, what he does off of his sheets for you. While he's gone, these are his picks off of his product that I interpreting. And so in the last race yesterday at Aqueduct, I gave you a horse and then 4 link-ups. What happened is during the course of the show, they scratched that horse. But we got word from Sean about that. So we went back and gave you another horse as a key horse. That horse got scratched later on. So what we were left with was the 3 link-ups of the 4 that were left. But if you did what I did, I said, well, heck, I'll just box those 3. If you box those 3 link-ups, you got the exacta. So I'm not going to give credit for it, but that's what happened there. And Jonathan Hardoon had a heartbreaking second in the 4th race at Aqueduct. But our guys did well otherwise. At Churchill Downs, Rich Ang gave us a story about D. Wayne Lucas taking over on a Bob Baffert horse for Baffert's wife at Churchill Downs. And he thought that horse was well meant, and it was. In the 7th race, Tour player got the job done, won it under Florent Garou. It was his second win of the day, by the way, paying $7.30. So I want to thank Richie for that. Richie's been on a roll. Gave us a winner on Sunday, gave us a winner on Wednesday, and this was the second of his 2 picks yesterday. So he's 4 in a row now for Richie. You remember that he gave us a horse at Santa Anita in the 3rd race. That winner was Hamika. Hamika paid $3 even, Bob Baffert and Juan Hernandez. And so Richie said, this is going to be a short price, so I'm going to give you another horse at Churchill Downs. So he won both of those plays. Also at Santa Anita yesterday, Jerry J's key horse, as interpreted here, got the win, Disposition. That horse paid $3 even as well. There's a lot of favorites yesterday at Santa Anita, believe it or not. But the pick 6 paid rather well. In any case, Disposition 1 paid $3, and the link-ups finished second, so you got the dollar exact at $6. Another link-up finished third, so the dollar trifecta paid $8. Not much there, but they were winners. And then in the 7th race, right after that, Jonathan Hardoon came with the winner, Super Ellie, who had a super ride and a super win. Super Ellie under Kazuchi Kimura paid $11.80 for the win there, giving trainer Mark Glatt his 3rd win in the first 7 races yesterday. Glatt won the first race with Mike Smith paying $5.40. Came back in the 4th race with Kimura paying $4.60. So Kazuchi Kimura got 2 wins yesterday, both of them on Mark Glatt-trained horses. Juan Hernandez, of course, had a couple of wins, both on Bob Baffert-trained horses. He won the 2nd race on Hamika that paid $3 even, and he won the 5th race on Marimati for Baffert that also paid $3 even. And so a lot of favorites in the early parts. As a matter of fact, 3 out of the first 6 races yesterday at Santa Anita were a $3 mutual winner. So a lot of favorites won yesterday. But the handicappers did good. And as I say, Rich Ang, 3 days in a row giving us winners there. So all of our handicappers are set and ready to go, and we hope that they'll just build upon that for today and the weekend. Anything else happening at Santa Anita, of course, was, like I said, Mark Glatt won 3 races on the card. Baffert won 2. Kimura won a couple. Juan Hernandez won a couple. And as far as the leading rider right now, Antonio Fresu, Fresu did not have a winner yesterday at Santa Anita. Fresu did not have a winner yesterday. As a matter of fact, I don't think he rode yesterday. Might have got a 1-day suspension. All right, anyhow. Yes, he did. He rode, but he didn't have a winner. And he still holds the lead with 31 wins going into the last 3 days of the meet, today, tomorrow, and Sunday for the Hollywood meeting there. And as far as Churchill Downs is concerned, Laurent Garreau had his first win of the day for Brad Cox, paying $3.78. And you remember that Jonathan Hardoon was telling us about Steve Asmussen and his son Keith, how they were going through a really losing cold streak. But they started to warm up the other day, and I remember Hardoon saying when guys start getting hot, the good guys that start getting hot after a losing streak, start jumping on them. And if you did that, you got the 2nd race winner with Eric winning for Steve, paying $23.20 there. So hopefully, you might have taken heed to that warning. In any case, the pick 6 Churchill yesterday, 67,000 and change. Good stuff there. And, of course, at Aqueduct, they're starting to running these 2-year-old maiden races, these maiden races for 2-year-olds. Now, Bob Baffert has a couple of them going this weekend in 2-year-old races out at Santa Anita for the Hollywood meeting, and his horses are going to be favorite, I think, today in one of the races and tomorrow in one of the races as well. But yesterday at Belmont at Aqueduct, first 2 races were for 2-year-olds. Both of those races were won by horses trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden by John Velasquez. 2 2-year-old races yesterday, both won by Pletcher and Velasquez team. The first race winner paid $4.50. The name of the horse was known as Love. And the second race, Reside won and paid $9.10. You might want to keep an eye on those 2-year-olds. Very precocious here for the Pletcher barn. Nobody had the 6 yesterday, pick 6. Nobody had it yesterday at Belmont at Aqueduct. Paid $299.50 for 5, so you got a carryover today in the pick 6 at Aqueduct. And there will be a mandatory payoff on Sunday, both at Santa Anita, no matter what happens, because it's closing day for the Hollywood meet. So it'll be mandatory payoff. Everything goes out the window on Sunday at Santa Anita. And there will be another one of those mandatory payoffs in the pick 6 jackpot at Gulfstream Park on Sunday. So Sunday, you got Mandy payoffs at Santa Anita, whatever is left there, and the mandatory payoff in the pick 6, the Rainbow Pick 6 jackpot pool on Sunday at Gulfstream Park. Trainer Doug O'Neill is approaching a milestone. Right now, as we go into the races this weekend, Doug O'Neill has 2,997 U.S. wins in America. Remember, he sends a lot of horses to Dubai, etc., and he's won several races in Dubai. So overall, he's won over 3,000 races as a trainer already. But as far as the United States is concerned, he has 2,997 wins going into today. Had a couple ran yesterday and didn't win. As a matter of fact, he had the favorite in the last race. They got a bad trip and didn't get there. So for this weekend, he has 10 horses left that he's entered over the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday cards. 10 races left to get to 3,000 U.S. wins, and he only needs 3 of those to win. So we'll wait and see about that. This is next story. I know Jonathan Hardoon is going to love this one. Kendrick Carmouche got a $5,500 fine for his win, and a 1-day suspension also for his win on Deterministic in the Manhattan on Monday, or is it on Sunday? Excuse me, in the Manhattan Stakes on the grass on Sunday at Saratoga. Okay, he won the race with the horse, $5,500 going to HISA for the fine, plus a 1-day suspension for a whip violation. Now the amount of whips that you can have, the amount of hits that you can have on a horse in a race now is 6, okay? He had 7. He hit him 1 extra time to get a win in a race that was worth, what, $1 million? And it was a photo finish at that. He was trying to get the horse home. So anyhow, when they asked Kendrick Carmouche, who recently won the George Wolfe Award this year, asked him for a quote after the race, he said, I hit him 7 times. I'll take the penalty. But the only thing that bothers me is if you're going to fine me $5,500, why take a day of racing away from me? Because that's how I earn my money. But he said he's not going to contest it. He's not going to appeal it. He's just going to take it. Well, I got news for you, Mr. Carmouche. If the owner doesn't pay that $5,500 for you, I would question that a lot. That's for sure. All righty. On today's show, Jonathan Hardoon and myself are going to go over the 4 stakes races for tomorrow at Monmouth Park, because Monmouth Park tomorrow is the Haskell Preview Day. And so these are races that are prep races in their divisions, and of course for the Haskell Day when it comes up. Okay, so we're going to go over those races, those 4 stakes races for you today. And by the way, the 2024 2-year-old filly of the year, Immersive, is finally going to make her 3-year-old debut. The champion filly from 2024 will make her 3-year-old debut tomorrow in the Monomoy Girl Stakes at Churchill Downs. Immersive returns to the races tomorrow. And finally, what everybody knew ahead of time, but they made it official yesterday, the Belmont Stakes will be held back at Saratoga next year. as if we didn't know that already. But they made it official. Belmont Stakes, for the third year in a row, will be held at Saratoga Racecourse in upstate New York. All righty, we got Jonathan Hardoon, Rich Eng, John Leno, and Jerry J's picks as well on today's show, and your racing menu, of course, in addition to that. And let's see if we can keep our handicappers hot over the weekend. In the meantime, we will take our first break, and when we come back, get you your racing menu and then off to the races with our handicappers as they continue to work out around the country in the morning hours at the racetracks. And don't forget to get on YouTube, the streaming network, and go to the chat box. If you haven't already subscribed, do it. It's free. Subscription is free, and then you can start chatting away because our chat box is getting more and more people all the time. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
The Southern California Thoroughbred Racing Circuit is back at Los Alamitos Racecourse with 9 great days of racing starting on Friday, June 20th. The opening weekend will feature the $100,000 Bertrando Stakes. Plus, the summer meet will include the running of the Los Alamitos Derby on Saturday, June 28th. We'll also have a holiday racing program on Friday, 4th of July. And our on-track handicapping contest will be on Saturday, June 28th. Daytime racing returns to Los Alamitos. Opening day is Friday, June 20th.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Beautiful day here in Las Vegas as we count down just days away from the start officially of summertime here. And right now it feels like summertime. It's 83 degrees right now outside, just a small breeze. And we're going to get up to 105, which is, of course, the heat warning. And so we remind you, stay hydrated, keep the kids and the pets inside. Don't let them get outside too long because it's going to be hot out there. And you know, always check on the elderly and people who have a hard time with the heat. Just make sure you stay hydrated. Drink that water. All right. As far as the rest of the country, around the country is concerned, 87 degrees in Miami, 79 in New York, 74 in Chicago, Los Angeles, 80 degrees. Phoenix, Arizona, going to be the hottest, 107 in Phoenix, Arizona today. And as far as the precipitation is concerned, looks like the weather will be just fine in most of the racing centers around the country. A little bit of rain and stuff going on here and there through the Midwest, etc., and parts of the Great Lakes area. But that's about it. Now we'll get you your racing menu for today. Reminding you, as we always do, that the first post times we broadcast on this racing menu each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're listening here in Las Vegas, going to come on out to the race book here at South Point. These will be the first post times rolling out in the book. And, of course, in the Pacific time zone, no matter where you're at. If you're in the multitude of other time zones that we're in around the world, well, you know, just adjust from your time zone to the Pacific time zone. Then you won't miss anything like, of course, I miss Mom and Dad. Okay? Here we go. We begin with Laurel Park. Laurel Park. They have 9 races today at Laurel and a first post time with a pick 6 jackpot carryover of $5,704. Set at 9:10. 9:10 at Laurel today. Balterra Park. Balterra Park has a super high 5 carryover today of $9,756. They've got 8 races, and their first post time is at 9:35. 9:35 at Balterra. Delaware Park, that's going to have a big day of racing tomorrow with 5 stakes races that include the Delaware Oaks and the Delaware Derby. Today they have 8 races at Delaware Park, and their first post time is set at 9:35. 9:35 also at Delaware Park. All right, next comes Churchill Downs. Churchill Downs. Their first post time at Churchill today is set at 9:45, back in the regular early post time. 9:45. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover stands now at $742,799. $742,799 in the Pick 6 jackpot at Churchill Downs. First post time for their 9 races today, as I said, at 9:45. 9:45 at Churchill. Gulfstream Park, their Pick 6 Rainbow Jackpot carryover, $90,446. 9 races today at Gulfstream. Remember, it'll be a mandatory payoff on Sunday, but for today, over $90,000 in the Pick 6 Jackpot carryover. First post time for 9 races set at 9:50. Then we go north of the border to Woodbine. Woodbine Racecourse, Pick 6 Jackpot carryover, $14,238. Super High 5 Jackpot carryover, $31,947. Hey, they got 10 races today at Woodbine and a first post time of 10:05. Belmont at Aqueduct. Belmont at Aqueduct. They've got 9 races today at Belmont at Aqueduct. It is mostly cloudy, but the track is fast. The turf courses, the outer turf course is firm. The inner turf course is firm. The first and fourth races will be conducted on the outer turf course, and races 5 and 9 will be conducted on the inner turf course. The rest will be on a fast main track. And it should be about 77 degrees coming up at post time. The Pick 6 carryover from yesterday to today at Belmont at Aqueduct, $30,568.96 to be exact. Over $30,500 in that Pick 6 carryover at Aqueduct today. Belmont at Aqueduct, first post time is at 10:10. 10:10. Then we go to Penn National. Penn National has 7 races today. Penn National's first post time is set at 11 a.m. Early post today at Penn National. 11 a.m. first post at Penn National today, so it does not have a nighttime card today, okay? Then you got Santa Anita. Santa Anita's coming up on the final weekend. Today, 9 races, 1 o'clock first post at Santa Anita. Santa Anita's first post time today is at 1 o'clock for their 9-race card. Evangeline Downs has 9 races. Their first post time at Evangeline today is set at 3:30. Full fields there, by the way, at Evangeline Downs. Charlestown got a Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $39,456. 8 races today at Charlestown. First post time is at 4 p.m. Again, carryover exceeding $39,400 in the Pick 6 jackpot. Prairie Meadows also has a first post time of 4 p.m. 4 p.m. at Prairie Meadows. Their Pick 5 jackpot carryover, $6,496. And they got a first post time at Prairie Meadows for 8 races at 4 p.m. And then we'll wrap it up with Emerald Downs in the great, great Northwest, where the sun sets later and later at this time of the year. Their first post time at Emerald Downs for their 7 races at Emerald today is set at 7 p.m. They have a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $8,390. And again, a 7 p.m. first post for 7 races at Emerald Downs this evening. All righty. Let's go out to Mr. Jonathan Hardoon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. One of your picks yesterday just decided not to break from the gate too fast and was almost left at the gate. I mean, he had about 12 lengths to make up or something like that, and he almost
more than that. They all ran well, so that's all that counts. By the way, Ralph, back to Heisa for a minute. It took him to the last race of the Belmont-Saratoga meet, all 5 of the days. Everybody was a good boy, but came to the last race of the meet, a Grade 1, Miguel Clement's first Grade 1 win, was probably Carmouche's first Grade 1 win. What happened? He got hit in extra time. Are they nuts, Ralph? Seriously. I mean, the horse ended up winning by a diminishing length, maybe half a length.
It was a photo finish.
I guarantee you that extra whip certainly may have made the difference, and It just doesn't make any sense. We talk about it all the time. We talk about that. We talk about the CAW. Nothing seems to change, but we keep marching on.
I noticed somewhere, it was either a post or an article where they said that the CAW is getting a little bit stronger now in New York, isn't it?
Yeah, I sent you the article. If you read the article, you really won't make a bet there. It's kind of scary. I mean, you're basically down to win bets, and it's terrible. I mean, they're just really sinking their teeth in, and they're putting way too much money in. And we say it all the time. The game is being short-sighted. They think that this is going to help handle and make things better. It's chasing people away.
Now, I do want to emphasize that CAW is a computer-assisted wagering. It's a software that allows them to find the pockets in the pools, the betting pools that are rich in possibility against the analytics they have. It's not actually; they're not fixing races, folks. I mean,
no,
out on the racetrack, but they're filling holes with analytics. And it's very productive because it's all a matter of mathematics. That's all it is numbers, and percentages. But that is an advantage they have over you and me and all the regular $2 players out there that don't have that mechanism.
They're betting thousands of combinations with very little time, maybe 30 seconds. And they're able to get away with it. But the biggest thing is, Ralph, they're playing and earning a rebate. So if they're getting 8 or 10% and they're betting millions of dollars, all they have to do is break out even, and they'll be happy as could be.
Right.
The problem is the regular guy is really getting screwed here. When you bet a horse and he leaves the gate at 12-1. And crosses the wire and all you get is $12, well, that's a disgrace. And that's what's going on. And the bigger problem is, I don't know for a fact, but when CAW started, they were basically just in the win and place pools. Now they're involved in exactas, they're involved in superfectas, they're involved in pick fives. There's the late pick five at New York at Aqueduct, they don't let them in. They don't let them in that cross-country bet, a coast-to-coast bet between Gulfstream and Santa Anita. And they advertise, this is a premium bet, it's whatever they call it, it's not open to CAW. So what they're telling you is the rest of the time you're getting screwed by CAW, but twice a day we're going to give you a break and leave it just for you. It's crazy, and nobody does anything about it.
All right,
That's the crazy part.
Let me give you an example of what you're talking about payoffs in pick fours and pick fives. Yesterday at Aqueduct, the first race winner paid $4.50. Even money horse, 6-5, wins the first race. The parimutuel payoffs after that, $9.10, $17.80, $4.90, and $11.60. The pick five paid $2,647. The pick four, exempt of that 6-5 shot.
In the first leg.
That's right. Paid $474.75. The difference between betting a 6-5 shot in the sequence was $2,172.25.
About 5 times the amount, right?
Whatever the case may be. I mean, that is glaring, that difference.
Yeah, so.
But I can't prove that it was CAW that made that discrepancy. What I'm saying is these are the type of things, these are the pockets that are happening now.
It's just horrible for the game. It really is. I know serious players that have quit, literally quit, or maybe making a few win bets along the way, but they're just totally disgusted, and rightfully so.
All I can say is, and you see the other side of that coin, Santa Anita yesterday, the first 6 races, 3 of the first 6 races, the winning mutual was $3 even for a $2 win bet. The early pick 4 there paid $9.
How about the pick 5 paid $58 for a pick 5?
The pick 5 paid $58. So
John Lindo and I were texting back and forth the over/under of what we thought the pick fives would be.
well, did you win that bet or no?
I did. It was $120. They said, no, it's got to be way under. It was early, though. It was before the first race. So,
I mean, looking at how the races you thought would turn out, and they were.
yeah.
Well, even as Rich Eng yesterday embarrassingly gave us a horse that he knew was going to be a dead chalk. That horse won and paid $3, but he said, I'm going to give you another horse at Churchill because this one's going to be. So, and that other horse did. It paid a decent price, so we got another winner out of Richie. But in any case, these are the things that are happening. You know, you go from Heisa finding a jockey for whipping a horse one more time in $1 million race that he wins in a photo finish to this stuff. And then you've got the overall decisions are being made about tracks closing down and the fairground thing is still gathering in the air. But amongst all of that, we racing fans still want winners and plays. So we're
resilient, Ralph. We're resilient. They can step on us, throw eggs at us, do whatever they want, and we seem to always come back.
We love this game. It's really that simple. And so handicappers did good yesterday. Jonathan, give us some. Keep the mojo going, buddy.
All right. So I thought we were going over the Monmouth races. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's do that right away. We will go to the Monmouth races now. The Monmouth Stakes.
Starts in the 8th race, Ralph. It's the Pegasus. It's for 3-year-olds.
Okay. That's the 8th race on the card?
Yeah.
Okay, because the Monmouth is the 9th race. Okay, go ahead. Go to the Pegasus, which is the prep for the Haskell.
Yeah, and this is for 3-year-olds. You know, these horses obviously didn't have enough points to make the Derby, or maybe they were late bloomers or whatever it is. And there's one little problem with us handicapping 48 hours in advance, Ralph. There is a 60% chance of rain. So I'm telling everybody in advance, if the track comes up sloppy, whatever we talk about today, rip it up and throw it out, because these selections really are off for a fast track. Anyway, in the Pegasus, I do like the number 5 horse in here, Bracket Buster, a 3-year-old called from the Victoria Oliver barn. And Alex Concepcion comes in to ride. He's listed at 9-2, and I think he's ready to make a forward move. And I think he's going to run very well.
All right, the 8-5 favorite there is Garamond, Flavian Pratt riding for Chad Brown. But as you said, the favorite, the horse that you like, is at 9-2. Then we will go to the Monmouth Stakes, which is the next race on the card, the 9th on the card there.
It's a 1.8 on the turf, so obviously this is a turf-only selection. It's a pretty contentious field. You can make a case for a lot of horses, but I like the number 6 horse in here, Otago. Kelsey Dana, who does a terrific job, sends out this 5-year-old. Alex Concepcion rides again here, so I'm on this guy a couple of races tomorrow, and hopefully he runs well.
All right, and that is in the Monmouth Stakes. Now, the next race up is, which one is in the order that you have there?
This is the Salvatore Mile. It's race number 10, and it marks the return of Bishop's Bay to the races, who hasn't been out since May 4th. That horse is 6-5 on the morning line. Brad Cox sends this horse out. Flavian Pratt rides. The horse is carrying 124 pounds and breaking from the outside. I would try to beat this horse. Beating Cox and Pratt at a short price, not an easy thing to do. But I do like a 10-1 shot in there. Number 6, Vitality, a 4-year-old gelding from the Joe Orsino barn. He took over the training last time out, and the horse really ran well. An improving 4-year-old. Number 6, Vitality, upsets and wins the Salvatore Mile.
You know, I hate to say this, but Concepcion can have a pretty good day, because I kind of like the horse that he's riding in this race, and that's Trademark. That horse is 6-1 on the morning line. So we'll wait and see about that.
He came there with to get live mounts, no question about it.
Well, he got a live mount. What's next?
The next is the 11th race. This is the Eatontown. It's grade 3, again on the turf. Chad Brown, sends out a Foreign Invader, who they made 8-5 on the morning line. Pratt rides. But the horse only earned $23,000, so I'm not that impressed. I actually like a different Chad Brown horse in the race, and it's number 7, Whiskey Decision. This horse is going to make her first start since joining the Chad Brown barn. Sammy Camacho, who does a lot of riding for Chad Brown at Tampa Bay Downs over the winter, gets the mount. She's 4-1. and she's the horse I like in the 11th.
Right. The Argentine horse you're talking about, Maggie Go, is the rail horse. That's Pratt on Brown's horse at 8-5. That's the one you're going to try to beat with Brown's other horse, which is Whiskey Decision. That'll be post 7 in the 7-horse field in that race. And so the final of the 5 stakes races obviously will be the Lady's Secret.
Yeah, number 2, Gunsong, best race of her career, was actually run last year at Monmouth when she finished second. She returns to Monmouth today. You know, they're going to bet Occult, the rail horse with Chad Brown and Pratt. They're going to bet Catherine Wheels, but I'm going to go with number 2, Gunsong in there.
You like the 2, Gunsong. Occult breaks from the rail. Catherine's Wheel breaks from the 3-hole. Those are the 2 horses that are close to being favorite. Well, actually, your horse is stuck right between them and at the odds as well at 5-2. But Gunsong is your play. Don't know the jockey yet, do we?
No. A couple of horses entered in some of those races without riders. I hope they're not cross-entered and they have a bunch of scratches. But all we could do is play the cards we're dealt. So
that's exactly
there you go.
Right. We're just doing this on a Friday, and of course, a lot of things can happen in 24 hours. But we do have racing today. So what are you giving us today?
Okay, so let's go to Belmont at Aqueduct and look at the 5th race today. It's a mile on the turf. It's a maiden claiming event, and not often that I will give a horse out that's 0 for 10 lifetime, but I really like this horse. She's got a lot of things going for her. Number 2, Attagirl Addie. I like the barn switch today to Gustavo Rodriguez. I like the rider switch to Javier Castellano. I like the 5-1 on the morning line. Graduation day today for number 2, Attagirl Addie, in today's 5th race out at Belmont at the Big A.
Well, I used to have, she was my aunt. She passed away, my Aunt Addie. So I'm bet it just purely on hunch bet there. In the 5th race, the 2, Attagirl Addie. The 2 in the 5th race, the anchor in the early pick 4 and early pick 5 at Aqueduct. And, of course, we'll wind it up with Santa Anita.
Let's look at the 7th race today at Santa Anita, also on the turf, also at a mile. I like the number 2 horse in here, Helicity. This is a 3-year-old colt from the Timyak Teen Barn. Edwin Maldonado climbs aboard today. This horse is listed at 5-1 on the morning line. Stretches back out today to a mile where she's run well in the past. I think she's going to be very tough in here. I like the 5-1. I like number 2, Helicity, to upset and win today's 7th race out at Santa Anita.
All right. In the 7th race, the 2, Helicity. The 2, Helicity in the 7th at Santa Anita, with Maldonado aboard, is your play for today at Santa Anita. Don't forget full sheets today he has for Churchill Downs and also Belmont at Aqueduct and Santa Anita at your website.
JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe. Be well. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
And thank you for the soapbox and the plays at Monmouth. Thanks a lot.
We squeezed a lot in about 10 minutes,
Yes,
so that's good.
Thank you, my man. And now,
Thanks, Ralphie.
And now talking about squeezing in stuff, we're going to squeeze in Rich Ang, John Lendo, and Jerry J's picks yet to come, so don't go away.
Here we are in Houston, opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that's going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and is struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We also build what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space and giving back some of their dignity, from their independence, and most certainly giving back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grandview Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grandview Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grandview Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby.
back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to the red hot Rich Eng. Richie, good morning, my man.
Hey, good morning, Ralph. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, we got 5 picks, 5 in a row, right? 2 yesterday, and you got Sunday and Wednesday as well. You're having a good run, that's for sure.
Yeah, I keep track of the picks. In fact, one of these days, Ralph, I've been keeping my ROI and my selection, so I'll give them over to Sean one of these days coming up. But my last 8 picks, Ralph, I've had 6 winners, a second, and a third. So at least the horses are running, and that's all we can try to do is to give out live horses here on the show.
Right. Race players only want live horses. They understand the trips that horses might get, etc. But as long as the horses are live, we'll get our share of winners, and certainly you're doing a good job, that's for sure. Today you have your handicapping sheet for Santa Anita, and I guess we can try to keep that mojo going, buddy.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go in the same race as Jonathan. He gave out the 2 Helicity in race 7 at Santa Anita. I'm going to try the number 1 horse, Lyle the Crocodile. Kind of a funny name, but this is that terrific tandem of Hector Berrios on the turf, riding for Philip D'Amato, getting a import. This one coming from Ireland. This horse last race in February at Dundalk, which is one of the smaller tracks over in Ireland, but had shown good form. It won 2 of the last 3 over at Dundalk, and now for the last 90 days or so has been training for Philip D'Amato. First time Lasix. This could be a possible wake-up horse at 6-1, Ralph. Let's go with the 1, Lyle the Crocodile in race 7.
All right. Well, Lyle the Crocodile is your pick in the 7th race. That's the 1 horse. Jonathan's horse is the 2. So we'll take your official pick with Barrios on the turf. That's always dangerous. And Jonathan's 2 horse. And we're going to do the Siraco play is the exacta box of 1, 2, 2, 1. And you are on the 1, Lyle the Crocodile. And, of course, you have a full sheet for today at Santa Anita coming up right now at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. Any observations or thoughts of anything we've been talking about for you?
Well, I heard you guys talking about Kendrick Carmouche getting the Heisel whip violation. I mean, how ridiculous is that? I can't stress enough that you and Jonathan are on the right side of this one. To get fined $5,000 plus, day suspension for a 7th whip in a grade 1 when the horse wins in a photo. I mean, it's just it's so counterproductive, and against it's anathema for the fact that these jockeys trying to win money, because you get paid basically very top heavy for first, get very little for second and third. Winning is what counts in horse racing, and they're getting fined and suspended for trying too hard.
And not to mention that trying to win is always a good trait to have when the public's betting on you as well.
Oh yeah, if I bet on a horse and my jockey uses a 7th or an 8th whip, I would applaud him, not fine him.
Well, they're going to have to fine-tune a few things, and maybe that is certainly one of them, that's for sure. Hopefully the ownership that got that good, the owner's share of the $1 million purse will be happy to write a check for $5,500 for Mr. Carmouche. Let's hope that happens. In any case, Richie, your selections for today at Santa Anita available right now at racedaylasvegas.com. And keep the mojo going, my man.
Hey, thank you, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, you got it. All right, we close up shop, as we always do on this show, with John and Jerry. Of course, Jerry's on vacation, but we've got an interpreted picks off of his sheets for you. One at Aqueduct, of course, Belmont at Aqueduct, one at Santa Anita, and then John Lindo as well. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book. South Point Studio.
I would argue it is a total mismatch. There's value with underdog prices in series.
I would lean to the under here.
My numbers are saying I got to bet the Tigers. Two-way action. When in doubt, we use that favorite, that extra nickel.
Sports by the book. South Point Studio.
Forget about the bet.
The Southern California Thoroughbred Racing Circuit is back at Los Alamitos Racecourse with 9 great days of racing starting on Friday, June 20th. The opening weekend will feature the $100,000 Bertrando Stakes. Plus, the summer meet will include the running of the Los Alamitos Derby on Saturday, June 28th. We'll also have a holiday racing program on Friday, 4th of July. And our on-track handicapping contest will be on Saturday, June 28th. Daytime racing returns to Los Alamitos. Opening day is Friday, June 20th.
The Race Day Las Vegas show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to wrap it up with John Lindo and, of course, Jerry J's plays. Let me give you Jerry J's plays first. Let's go to Belmont at Aqueduct. Jerry J, of course, has his power page. Says he's still publishing them every day for Aqueducts, for New York, actually, and for Southern California. So at Belmont at Aqueduct today, interpreting what's on the power page, let's go to the 5th race. Let's go to the 9th race. Jonathan has the 5th race. In the 9th race at Belmont at Aqueduct, Jerry J's play is going to be number 2, Princess Summer, 6-1 on the morning line with Santana aboard, the 2 horse. And the link-ups will be numbers 1, 6, 7, and 9. The 1 at 7-2, the 6 at 4-1, the 7 at 12-1, which was a V horse, and the 9, which is at 8-1. So the 2 over 1, 6, 7, 9, and reverse. That at Belmont at Aqueduct. And I'll try to check those scratches for you in just a minute when we go to John for that race. Going to Santa Anita now. At Santa Anita, Jerry J has a play in the 5th race. In the 5th race, he has a star horse and a top-rated horse, so we're going to use that as the play. In the 5th race, the 4, Spotted Haze. Number 4, Spotted Haze with Juan Hernandez at 9-2. The link-ups will include numbers 3, 7, and 9. The 3 at 12-1, the 7 at 2-1, and the 9 at 3-1. So the 4 over 3, 7, 9, and reverse. That in the 5th at Santa Anita. Remember, Jerry J's power pages are still available right now for Belmont at Aqueduct and at Santa Anita at his website. Let's go to Southern California now, where John Lindo standing by. John, did you get enough of those $3 winners yesterday?
I've had plenty of those to last me a lifetime this meet at Santa Anita, Ralph, but hopefully a little better action, a little bit more, competitive racing the rest of this weekend.
Well, all I could say as far as, the races are concerned this weekend, I guess Bob Baffert's got a couple of 2-year-olds now that he's going to uncork this weekend, and he's got one of them early in the races today. I believe that 2-year-old comes in the 2nd race in the form of Desert Gate.
Right, that horse has been working well, but the one he showed off yesterday, Hamika, that's a nice filly. Paid $900,000 for her earlier this year, and the mom had set a track record at Saratoga going 5.5. And the thing I liked about her yesterday, Ralph, is that she got outrun for the lead, so it wasn't just pure speed. She sat inside from the rail post, went around that leader when she was asked around the turn, and drew off, and she looked pretty professional. She's going to be a nice one.
Yeah, she sure is. We'll wait and see what Desert Gate holds today. And of course, Todd Pletcher uncorked a couple of 2-year-olds yesterday in New York and won them both, the 1st and 2nd races there with John Velasquez aboard. So we'll have to, this is the time when the precocious 2-year-olds start making their way onto the racetrack and running in races. And of course, later on, we'll get a little bit better handle on them. But it's always fun to watch the new 2-year-olds coming out, especially when you see they're bred by some champions of the past.
Right. I don't know the name of that Pletcher filly, but she's a half-sister to Fierceness, so a bright future for her. I think that's the one that broke the maiden. Was that on the grass course? Again, I'm not prepared for that.
The first race was on the turf. That was Nona's Love, and the 2nd race was on the main track, and that was Reside.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was, but one of those is a half-sister to Fierceness.
That'll be the first race because that was for the fillies.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, well, interesting day yesterday at Santa Anita, but let's see if we can find a little bit more prices with a little meat on the bones more today than yesterday. But they're winding up at Santa Anita for the Hollywood meet, and a lot of the guys, they're going to take a break during Los Alamitos and get pumped up for Del Mar, and of course, a lot of the guys are going to see Los Alamitos as a great opportunity that not only get wins for their horses, but Bob Baffert always likes to use Los Alamitos for some of his new shooters.
Well, that and the big race of that meet is always the Grade 2 Great Lady M. That's a 6.5 furlong sprint for fillies and mares, and we're going to see that good filly Copion in there. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't had a chance to watch her live, she's really good. So it comes off that big win on the Derby City Distaff, was it at Churchill Downs, mm-hmm. and she's a nice filly. So I'm looking forward to seeing her back in California. Yeah, and with her, going back to California there, and Immersive, we haven't seen her since her 2-year-old filly championship, getting her 3-year-old debut getting underway at Churchill Downs tomorrow. We still got a lot of good competitive horses that are coming on the scene, that's for sure. Let's get a pick. Let's go to race 3 today at Santa Anita. In the third race, number 2, Mongolian Max drops out of a couple of really salty starter allowance races into a restricted claiming race. This drop is bigger than it looks on paper. There's some speed in here in Gavia, and be punctual to set him up. Wilfin Orantes picks up the mount again. He was aboard for the last win on this horse. I just think a really live spot. They're getting serious today. 3-1 on the morning line. Number 2, Mongolian Max in the right spot. Race 3 at Santa Anita. All right, third race at Santa Anita. Number 2, Mongolian Max. The 2 Mongolian Max in the third race with Orantes aboard. I can tell you, this Orantes is starting to impress me a little. I know his agent is a kingpin from many, many years as an agent. But yesterday, in that race that he won in the 8th race with Darling Tammy, I don't know if he was counting his whips or not, but he was really throwing the reins at the end of the horse to try to get her in there in time, and she did. Well, she's a filly that waits when she makes the lead, and when he hit the front, he thought, I better get to work. And good on him in that he didn't wait. He just kept going and had enough left to get to the wire, and it was all out, but he got the job done. And he's won a lot of races, too, for Ron Ellis, so he's had a lot of rides for some good barns. Looks good, too, on a horse. Not bad at all. Yeah, he does, yeah. All right, well, we got a mandatory payoff on Sunday at Santa Anita because it's the last day and everything goes out the door. And, of course, we got the San Juan Capistrano to look forward to. We were talking about that just yesterday, about how an eclectic field of horses are going to be lining up for the San Juan. So it's going to be an interesting weekend out at Santa Anita, and, of course, an interesting weekend overall. And, John, your Lindo report each and every day for the final in Southern California, available right now here at the South Point free of charge, exclusively here at the South Point free of charge. The only place you can get it in the gaming capital is John Lindo's Lindo Report here at the South Point book, because they love horse players, and they love your selections as well, John. So in the meantime, until tomorrow, we're going to make this Friday 13th a lucky one. John, say it. Have a great race day, everybody.